Well, welcome back to Yehusha's Glory. We're going to do the book of Genesis now. It's the first sefer of Moshe called Bereshith. It's called Genesis. It's on page 24 in the sefer. And it goes, "In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, Let there be light, and there was light. And Elohim saw the light, and it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And Elohim said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Elohim made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And Elohim said, Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the gathering togethers of the waters called he seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And Elohim said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for appointed feasts, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Elohim set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And Elohim said, Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Elohim created great sea monsters, and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And Elohim said, Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Elohim made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, Let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image, in the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them. And Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And Elohim said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Elohim created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that Yahuwah Elohim made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahuwah Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed the man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahuwah Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pishon. That is it which encompasses the whole land of Chavila, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gishon. The same is it that compasses the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Kiddekel, which is it which goes toward the east of Asher. And the fourth river is Perath. And Yahuwah Elohim took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to guard it. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you eat thereof you shall die. You shall surely die. And Yahuwah Elohim said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. And out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto the man to see what he would call them. And whatsoever the man called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And the man gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. And Yahuwah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father, his mother, and shall cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his woman, and were not ashamed. Now, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, has Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall surely not die. You shall not surely die, for Elohim knows that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her man with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the gardens in the cool of the day, and the man and his woman hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, Where are you? And he said, I have heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the woman, What is this that you have done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon your belly shall you go, and dust shall you eat all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your man, and he shall rule over you. And unto Adam he said, Because you have hearkened unto the voice of your woman, and have eaten of the tree, of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake. In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground, for out of it were you taken, for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. And Adam called his woman's name Shua, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also, and to his woman did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skins, and clothed them. And Yahuwah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Then therefore Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden, Cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way of the tree of life. Adam knew Shua, his woman, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from Yahuwah. And she again bore his brother, Hevel. And Hevel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahuwah, and Hevel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Hevel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. I don't normally do this, but let's back up. Adam knew Eve, his woman, and she conceived and bore Cain. And she again bore. So she had 2 kids there. Abel. Cain tilled the ground. And of course, Abel had a flock. It says here, Cain brought fruit from the ground as an offering to Yehusha. So he picked up fruit that had fallen from the tree that was not fresh and ripe. He didn't pick it. He brought of the fruit of the ground. So that's why Father didn't have any respect toward Cain's offering. So anyway, I'm sorry to get off the subject there. So under Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yehusha said unto Cain, Why are you wroth, and why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door, and unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him. And Cain talked with Hevel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against his brother Hevel, and slew him. And Yehusha said unto Cain, Where is Hevel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I to guard my brother? And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. And Cain said unto Yehusha, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me. And Yehusha said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slays Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yehusha set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of Yehusha and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his woman, and she conceived and bore Hanok. And he built a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Hanok. And unto Hanok was born Ethlirad, and Lirad begat Mechuel, and Mechuel begat Methushael, and Methushael begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 women. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Sila. And Ada bore Yaval. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Yuval. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. And Sila, she also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his women, Ada and Sila, Hear my voice, ye women of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his woman again, and she bore a son, and called his name Sheth. For Elohim said, She has appointed me another seed instead of Hevel, whom Cain slew. And to Sheth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enosh. Then began men to call upon the name of Yehusha. This is the Sefer of the generations of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, in the likeness of Elohim made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Sheth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Sheth were 800 years. Note, Nothing here says Cain is in the generation of Adam. His first son, Abel, was slain. Back to the reading. Adam lived 130 years, begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Sheth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Sheth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Sheth lived 105 years, and begat Enosh. Sheth lived after he begat Enosh 807 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Sheth were 912 years, and he died. And Enosh lived 90 years, and begat Canaan. And Enosh lived after he begat Canaan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all of the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. And then Canaan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begat Yared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Yared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Yared lived 162 years, and begat Hanak. And Yared lived after he begat Hanak 800 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Yared were 962 years, and he died. And Hanak lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Hanak walked with Elohim after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Hanak were 365 years, and Hanak walked with Elohim, and he was not, for Elohim took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son, and he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which Yahuwah has cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and he begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them women of all which they chose. And Yahuwah said, My Ruach shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were Nephilim in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Elohim came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, the same became warriors and tyrants, which were of ancient times men of infamy. And Yahuwah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahuwah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. Grieved him at his heart. And Yahuwah said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repents me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuwah. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Elohim, and Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me. For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy with them the earth. Make you an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall you make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which you shall make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits. The breadth of it 50 cubits. And the height of it 30 cubits. A window shall you make to the ark, and in a cubit shall you finish it above. And the door of the ark shall you set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shall you make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heavens, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with you will I establish my covenant, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons and your woman and your sons' women with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto you, to keep them alive. And take unto you of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that Elohim commanded him, so did he. And Yehusha said to Noah, come you and all of your house into the ark, for you have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast you shall take to you by 7s. Now of every clean beast you shall take by 7s, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls of the air, the clean ones, this is what he's saying, the clean ones that you can eat, you're going to take 7 of each. So of fowls of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth, 40 days and 40 nights. Every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that Yehusha commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his woman and his sons' women with him, and into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creeps upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as Elohim had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of the heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self-same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's women, and the 3 women of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, and every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Elohim had commanded him. And Yehusha shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bore up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both fowl and of cattle and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. And Elohim remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, there were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. And he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him unto the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. And then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark, and the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 605th year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. And Elohim spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, you and your woman, and your sons women with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his woman, and his sons' women with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creeps upon the earth after their kinds went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto Yehusha, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And Yehusha smelled a sweet savor. And Yehusha said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. I'm going to read that again. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moves upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man, and you be ye fruitful and multiplying, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And Elohim spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And Elohim said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between you, me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign before a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noah, This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to become a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his brethren without, and Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him, and he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be Yehusha, Elohim of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. And when we come back, we're going to start doing the generations of the sons of Noah. And that'll be in chapter 10, page 30 in the Sefer. I want to thank you guys for being here. I'd like to say a little prayer for a few people. I know a lot of us need prayers. We need Father to help us out. So let's kind of get together on this together and pray together. Father, grab hold of us. Keep us productive. Have us do the work for you that you want us to do. Make the things come out of our mouth that you want to come out of our mouth. Put your hands on our shoulders. Push us straight down the narrow path that you want us on. Don't let us veer left or right. Grab hold of our health. Make our health strong. Make our loved ones' health strong. Bring our loved ones into your light. Drive evil spirits and demons away from our families. Smite our enemies. Crush them. Protect us from our enemies. Put your light in our homes, then our hearts. Keep us always mentally and physically under your guidance and in your arms. We bow down to you on our face forever and ever in front of the throne, praising your Savior, your Messiah, Yehusha. Yahuwah, we pray to you in his precious name. Thank you, Yehusha, for your sacrifice. We love you with all of our heart. Amen. See you next time on Yehusha's Glory.